Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a seriously dark, cautionary tale from the 16th century. It's a story that helps us understand a timeless and pretty corrupting force.
I mean, think about that for a second. The story we're about to unpack poses this exact question. It presents greed not just as a human failing, but as this tangible thing with a will of its own.
And this is the force right at the heart of our story. It's not some mythical creature, really. It's the spirit of more, that little whisper that tells every single one of us that we just don't have enough.
Okay, so let's dive into it. Our story kicks off in this proud city called Prosperdas. And in this city lives a wealthy moneylender, a usurer, named Bartholdus. Now, the guy's got plenty of money, but his heart, well, the text says his heart was a dry well, just empty.
So he's basically exhausted all the legal ways to make even more money. So he turns to something darker. Forbidden arts. And wouldn't you know it, he summons something far older and more dangerous than any market. Mammon appears. But get this, he doesn't show up as some scary beast. He's wearing robes of spun sunlight. Beautiful, right? But so bright it actually hurts to look at.
So Mammon offers him a deal. And wow, what a deal it is. It's an irresistible promise, basically. For the next 24 years, Bartholdus is going to have a supernatural Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to profit. This is that glittering illusion, the bait. But here's the catch. The terrible price was hidden right there in plain sight. He wouldn't just have his treasure. He would become his treasure. Just think about that. A coin that's never spent, a vault that never opens, trapped forever. But of course, Bartholdus, totally blinded by greed, he signs his name. And just like that, the pact begins. For a while, Bartholdus becomes the most powerful man in the entire city. He's the king's creditor, the master of markets. I mean, for a time, it probably felt like he'd made the best deal of his life.
But as his wealth explodes, Mammon's influence starts to twist how he sees everything. This is where the real rot begins. People aren't people anymore. They're just taxable heads. His own children, not his family, they're investments. His friends, just liabilities on a balance sheet. Love, loyalty, all of it just got weighed against financial gain.
So let's see how this builds, because a decay this steep, well, it doesn't just stay with one guy. Bartholdus' personal rot soon starts to infect his entire city. That spirit of more acts like a slow poison on the very soul of Prosperitas.
And this just brilliantly shows the societal corruption. The whole fabric of the community just unravels. Neighbors who used to share with each other, now they're building stone walls. The law, which is supposed to be about justice, it becomes a spider's web. It only catches the little guys while the rich and powerful just tear right through it.
And Bartholdus, as he's watching all this happen, watching his city crumble, he feels nothing. No pity at all. Just this frantic, gnawing need to own the rubble. I mean, his insatiable hunger had consumed everything, including his own humanity.
But, as the source material tells us, a pact like this has a deadline. So after 24 years of all this, the bill finally comes due.
In that 24th year, a great trembling seizes him. He absolutely panics. He runs to his deepest vault, surrounds himself with mountains of gold, thinking that maybe his stuff could shield him from his fate.
Yeah, his wealth didn't save him. In fact, it became the very instrument of his damnation. The clock strikes midnight, and the gold starts to glow with a sickly heat. Mammon returns, but this time he's a colossus of molten slag. Then the gold itself liquefies. It becomes the searing river, flowing right at him, filling his throat, encasing his skin, until he's forged into a solid gold statue, the vault that would never open.
And those were Mammon's final mocking words. "You have gathered much, Bartholdus. Now you shall be gathered." Just perfect, terrible irony.
So the rot that started with just one man's greed ends with the complete destruction of a civilization. The very next night, a fire breaks out, started by the hungry people he'd ignored. The whole city falls to ash. And that golden statue of Bartholdus, it gets lost beneath the rubble, a hidden monument to greed for a city that had completely forgotten its soul. You know, this 16th century story ends with an epilogue. It's a direct warning that honestly resonates just as strongly today. This is the why this matters part.
This question, this is the heart of the entire story, isn't it?
It's the timeless challenge to that glittering illusion Mammon offers, that whole idea that gaining the world is worth it, even if you lose yourself along the way.
So the only way to really resist this stuff is to wake up to a higher truth. That true worth, well, it's not measured in gold. It's measured in integrity, in love, in compassion.
And that really leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The tale of Bartholdus might be old, but the demon he dealt with, that relentless spirit of more, he's eternal. So the real question is, where do you see him at work in our world today?